Hello again, everybody. Gary Ferman and Matt Shodell here, and today we are talking about the future of the running back position at Miami. All right, Matt, running back, the future. I'm getting ready to drop a bomb on this entire thing right now, and here's why. Okay, this is the current running back position at Miami. You got Henry Parrish, who's a third-year sophomore. You got Jalen Knighton, who's a third-year sophomore. You got Thad Franklin, who's a true sophomore. You got Don Chaney, who's a third-year redshirt freshman. And you got Trevante Citizen, who's a true freshman redshirting with injury. 5 guys at the running back position at Miami. And I'm going to go out on a limb right now, and I am going to say that the Miami Hurricanes do not have a number one running back, okay? And I know the Henry Parrish fan club is going insane right now. What are you talking about? Henry gained 6 yards a carry last week against Duke. Henry was great against Texas A&M. Henry's been really good this year when he's been healthy, and he has, okay? All true, 100% in agreement. But Matt, Henry Parrish is at best a number 2 or number 3 running back at a team that's competing for championships, in my opinion. He is not a franchise back. He's too little to be an absolute impact elite running back because he can't withstand the level of pounding that guys like that have to withstand. Henry Parrish is a very important part of this Miami Hurricanes team. He is not RB1, okay? Jalen Knighton has been a disaster this year, an absolute disaster. I have no idea what the future holds for him. I don't know why he's been so bad. He has had a direct hand in 3 of the 4 losses where he made horrible plays or fumbles, and they negatively impacted the game. I won't say losing was his fault, but he greatly contributed to losing those games. Don Chaney, he can never stay healthy. Thad Franklin is making such a positive impression on the Miami coaches that he was healthy in the Duke game, and they chose to put Lucius Stanley, who came off the waiver wire at a UAB at the last minute in August, onto this roster. And Trevante Citizen now, who we thought could be RB1, who might even have been RB1 by this point in the season, has been injured all year. We don't know. How's he going to come off his injury? Is he going to be the same level running back that we thought he was going to be? So many questions pertain right now to Trevante Citizen. So, Matt, I set the table for you, buddy. We're talking about the future of the running back position. I'm not sure the running back position has a definitive future right now. I'm not quite sure what the coaches are going to do as it might pertain to whether somebody is set, like Thad Franklin potentially is sent to the transfer portal, whether a new running back is brought in through the transfer portal, or whether they get a running back that they really like in traditional recruiting. Hint, hint. Have you heard the name Mark Fletcher? Don't forget it, because I believe there's a chance that Mark Fletcher in the month of December flips from Ohio State to Miami. Matt, you got the floor.
Oh, well, I see your mouth stopped moving, so I'll take you off mute. Okay. So what were you asking me about? Stone crabs? So yeah, stone crab season's here. I'm going to be going out next week, checking the traps. Very excited. In the event you were talking about the running backs, basically what I see is that you've been drinking the Matt Shodell chai lattes a little too much, because before the season, you were the one who told me that, taking Henry Parrish was like the greatest idea ever in the transfer portal.
It was.
You're telling me that even though he and Jalen Knighton were like sort of the same guys, that it was a great 1-2 punch.
It was supposed to be.
And the truth is, I felt I was wrong. Henry Parrish had a great start to the season, and I felt with Jalen Knighton struggling, I felt you were right. But now you're backtracking and saying, well, they don't need Henry Parrish. But
I'm
he's
not backtracking. I'm looking at the results of what we've seen on the field. It's been a disaster.
Okay. Well, the problem, as I said, when they took 12 transfers, is how do you get rid of Henry Parrish now? Because he's on the roster. He can't leave. And what's that?
You don't get rid of Henry Parrish.
Right. But I think Trevante Citizen would, like you said, would start over him. The problem comes in, and this is a new problem in college football, but it's a true problem. It's a human nature problem. Henry Parrish is here to become an NFL player. He's here to play a lot. And you're right. He's not the game-breaking every down back that a championship team would use. He was fourth team at Ole Miss last year. He'd probably be a third teamer at a really, really good running school right now. And Miami needs better. As good as Henry's been, Miami needs better. And the problem comes in with this. You take a transfer like this, and then he's doing okay. And then you tell him, hey, you know what? We got to go a different route next year. Like we have to get more out of this position. And, you're going to be third team, second team, whatever it is. And normally a player like Henry, who will be unhappy if and when that happens, and it will happen. So when it happens, he will be unhappy, and rightfully so. It's human nature. I don't want to be a backup. I want to make money for my family. I have mouths to feed, whatever the case is. Well, he can't transfer anywhere now because he'd have to sit out a year per the way the NCAA has set up these rules. He's already transferred to Miami. You can't transfer a second time and not sit out a year, and no school's taking a guy in one of those coveted 85 spots that has to sit out a year anymore. It's not going to happen. So he's stuck at Miami, unhappy in the running back room, unhappy as a Miami Hurricanes player. You don't want unhappy players in your locker room. It's a mess. And that's why I said to you, Gary, don't take 12 transfers. Only take the ones you know are going to hit and be gone. Take the redshirt seniors, take the graduate seniors, take the guys who are going to the NFL the next year. You can shake your head all you want. It creates a bad locker room attitude when you find better players the next year. It creates a bad atmosphere and you find better players the next year to replace these transfer guys that can't go anywhere. It creates bad karma when you kick guys off the team that their college scholarship chances are gone because they can't go anywhere else. It's a fact.
Nope. One of the best things,
just like Ron DeSantis say no, doesn't mean it's true.
It's absolutely true. One of the best things they did was they didn't take all departing transfers. They found some sophomores that have a few years that they can be in the program. Darrell Jackson, for example.
He's the only one that I think is young that they should have taken out of that entire pool.
Parrish has been an important part of it's not leading to wins.
The team is 3 and 4.
You're going to say it hasn't led to one win. Taking Henry Parrish has not led to one win. I would say you're right.
There's two championship level transfers on this roster. One's Akeem Messidor, one's Darrell Jackson. The other transfers, you're sort of stuck with most of them. There's a few of them that are going to be gone this year if Messidor leaves early, which I don't know if he will or won't. But that's it, and you're stuck with the other 8 or 9, and that's not great.
Can I make a case for Colby Young to be included on the match show?
All right, well, he's a JUCO kid. I don't consider him really the same transfer portal as
everyone else. I believe
he's more of a recruit. I consider a JUCO.
He's got 3 years, right, Matt? He's got 3 years to be in this program.
Right, he's a JUCO transfer, which I consider more of a recruit because in the old days you also took JUCO kids as recruits.
They never had to sit out. That is called a transfer.
Well, you call it that, but a JUCO. Let me talk. A JUCO recruit.
I'm not saying a word. I'm letting you talk, but it's a transfer.
In the old days, if you transferred in, you had to sit out a year, right? JUCO kids would come in and play right away. That's why they were considered the same as a high school recruit because you didn't have to sit out. So that's why I skipped him. But of course, you need Colby Young as a guy that you need. Of course.
Okay. And Parrish is important too. It's just it's not translating into victories this year, but he's a very good. If everything were right, he'd be a very good number 2 back.
You just said he's a third string running back on a great offense. So
he's been he's been number 1 this year. I said he's not a true number 1.
You need to be better.
Yeah.
I don't need guys coming from other programs who are 4th string guys to be a starter here. I don't need that. That's not how you build a program to me. But to you, it is. Whatever.
I would say you wouldn't have wanted to play this year without any Henry Parrish, except for the fact that it hasn't led to a single victory. And that weakens my case. But I still say Henry Parrish is an important part of this program because you can't count on anybody else at that position, quite frankly. Can't count on Knighton. Cheney's always hurt. Citizen's hurt. And Franklin is clearly considered disposable by the second coaching staff in a row. So anybody out there
here's a shocker for you, Gary. If the Mississippi running backs coach didn't come in, they would have taken another freshman running back in the class. And maybe that guy would have turned out pretty good. I don't know. But what we got is a guy who's a 3rd string running back at a great program and a starter here because it is what it is. But whatever, man, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I don't think it was a great take.
Thad Franklin probably needs to be replaced. 2 coaching staffs have rejected him, clearly. Okay. Yeah. He probably needs to be replaced.
Well, I think his
kind of like that naked plant that you got over your left shoulder. What the heck is that?
Having some work done in the house, so I had to put some of my foliage in
That's
the
not
house.
Foliage. Okay,
That's
that is
foliage.
foliage. Okay,
That's foliage.
that other thing that I'm seeing in the picture, that is not foliage.
That's from
Okay?
my outdoors. It's from. I got a couple of decks, and we're having work done. So what do you want?
Okay, great, but that is not foliage.
It is. It's actually
Go to Home Depot and get yourself a real plant. They have thousands of them on display.
You obviously don't know what a $500 orchid looks like, but that's what that
not
looks
an orchid. I don't see one flower on that thing.
Because it's not orchid season, bro. I can't zoom in, but trust me, when that orchid goes crazy, that orchid goes crazy. That orchid averages 8 yards a carry. Okay, yeah, that orchid is better than Henry Parrish.
Just like you, after you walk on that stair climbing apparatus over your other shoulder that you very conveniently showed us to make us think that you're trying to get yourself in shape. But anyway, no matter what you do, I don't care how much you walk on that thing. You are not playing running back for the Miami Hurricanes, and we are talking about that right now. We're not talking about.
Show me your room that's a botanical garden, a workout center, and where you have a futon you could sleep on with a TV that has YouTube TV and the ACC network and Bally Sports now, because I was forced to get Bally Sports because of frickin' Henry Parrish and this team, okay?
Hey, man, one more week. Then we're going back to big time, baby. Florida State game on ABC.
Hey, is Bally Sports going to my expense account? I never even asked you. I'm putting it on my expense account. I'm expensing that.
All right. So anyway, running backs, it's not as great just because you have all these bodies. We're actually finding out it's really not in a great place right now. And you hear us talking about it here, and that's coming through loud and clear. So what does the future hold, Matt? To sum all this up, I think that there's a great chance that they go in the transfer portal for a running back this year. I think Franklin's out. I don't know if Chaney potentially leaves or whatever. We'll see. I think they'll get a running back in the portal if they can, and I think they're going to try to steal Mark Fletcher from Ohio State.
Yeah, no doubt. But here's how you attack the portal. To me, a lot of these guys they took, I personally wouldn't have taken, and a bunch of them obviously you can see that aren't playing. But where I think you can have success in the portal, okay, isn't the guy from UAB who wants to go to a better program, not the guy who is a backup at some major program that's like not a great program, but a mid-level, whatever, name the conference program. Where I think Miami can strike gold is if not bringing back some guys who are really good that are from Miami that left that want to come back for whatever reason. But if you go like the Alabama, Georgia, Ohio States, the second team guys, the guys that know they're going to be second teamers next year, like to me, if they're young, if they're stuck behind a junior and they're a redshirt freshman or something, they want to play right now because, third year they can go to the pros. They want to play 1 year and go, and they think they're that good. There's going to be some third year, some guys who will be entering their third year who think they're really good and want to go pro, but are stuck behind a senior or a junior somewhere at a major program like Alabama, Ohio State. If you can grab 2 or 3 of those guys, especially in the offensive line or something like that, that's where you strike gold. Not, the UABs and the backups at USC and the backups at UCLA. Like, I'll take the backup there, man. The redshirt freshman who's like wants to be in the NFL, not the redshirt freshman who's the third and fourth teamer, but that guy who is a top recruit, who, he has NFL potential. He's just stuck behind an amazing NFL player that they have. They just stack them there. Those are the guys you hit on, man. That's the guys I want Miami to be able to get.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoy the story on the running backs and the future. And I do think that it's a position that is in a little bit of flux that they need to make better. And it's going to be interesting to see how that affects all the guys that are in the room now, because they do have young guys in the room. But, the season that Jalen Knighton had this year was a game changer, in my opinion.
By the way, I 100% agree with you. Trevante Citizen would have been the starter, would be the starter, and would have been amazing. But now with this injury, it's such a major injury he underwent. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for next season. I mean, it wasn't just one torn ligament. I mean, it was multiple problems in that leg. And it's
horrible, man. Poor kid.
It's a long road to recovery for him. So, we'll see. He's not going to be ready for the spring, maybe for the fall on a limited basis. But, it takes these injuries, you even saw it you see it in the NFL. It takes a year even playing after you come off the injury to get back to where you were. It's going to be a little while for him.
Yeah, but we've seen guys like Willis McGahee and Frank Gore come back from major injuries, and hopefully Trevante Citizen, he's got a lot of years ahead of him.
It's just a matter of time, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of years ahead of him. Hopefully it works out well. All right, that's going to do it for this segment for today. Hope you enjoyed it. For Matt Shodell, I'm Gary Ferman. We'll see you next time, everybody.